This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Sunday, the 14th of September 2014. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's Nibiru Planetech special report, the facts about the current state of affairs regarding Nibiru, the incoming massive planetary body that will cause a massive extinction event sooner than you may think, with many experts in the field suggesting this end times event most likely will occur before 2016 or 2017. With alarming signs of the build-up to this event being reported daily, are you and your family prepared for what's to come, or are you still burying your heads in the sand, hoping and praying nothing will happen? Okay, into this Nibiru special report. This first report originates from Donald Smalter, source Andarian Theory, channel from a benevolent group Andar. Glaciers melting at an alarming rate, huge uptick in meteors, fireballs, sharp rise in tornadoes, quakes, volcanic eruptions, sinkholes, landslides, melting permafrost, ocean warming. Is a near-term worldwide cataclysm ahead? Minds are like parachutes. They only function when they are open. A gigantic heretical website of transcribed communications to an American woman over more than 15 years to date from benevolent extraterrestrials claim that Planet X, or historically Nibiru, 4 times larger in diameter than Earth and magnetically more than 20 times stronger, is on a long elliptical path, now slowly passing between the Sun and Earth, and does so every 3,600 plus years. The existence of Nibiru and its long orbit was first revealed by the Jewish-American scholar Zecharia Sitchin in his 1976 book The 12th Planet, and multiple follow-on authored books, all based on his Middle Eastern archaeological hieroglyphic interpretations. Nibiru was first spotted remotely by USA astronomers in 1983 and reported at that time in the Washington Post, but since has been subjected to a governmental cover-up per President Reagan National Security Executive Order. It is currently hidden in the sun's glare, but distant photo images have been provided on the website and the internet. As it passes closer to Earth with its long tail of moons and asteroids, likely within the next 24 or so months, the aliens website predicts it will cause a drastic Earth pole shift of about 90 degrees due to its magnetic strength. This would result, per the website, in more Earth wobbles, then violent mega earthquakes, super hurricane winds, worldwide volcanic eruptions, and oceanic sloshing, with gigantic tidal waves inundating most low-lying coastal areas and cities, e.g. Netherlands, Denmark, Bangladesh, Singapore, Hong Kong, New York City, LA, Miami. Food, water, electricity and gasoline distribution would collapse, resulting in massive relocations, rampant crime, riots and starvation. Much housing would be destroyed. Melting old poles combined with much warmer oceans due to a hotter Earth core per the aliens would cause a greater than 600-foot rise in ocean levels in the following 2 years. In worst case, as little as 10 or 20% of the world's population might survive. Exactly when this shift might happen is unclear, if all goes as currently projected, but we already have an unusual number of signs: a rise in strong earthquakes, e.g. Chile, New Zealand, Sumatra, northern Japan, Turkey, increasing volcanic activity occurring worldwide, alarming glacier melting, unprecedented land sinking, e.g. Java, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. Malfunctioning electronic connections for satellites, bridge and mine collapses, worldwide RR derailments, water, sewer and gas line breaks, and much unusual weather, interactable droughts with massive crop damage, unprecedented regional downpours and flooding major regions, e.g. Java and Philippines, much flooding in unusual spots, giant sinkholes, e.g. China, Pennsylvania, Florida, unusual rogue tidal waves, a sharp rise in USA tornadoes, melting pole ice and glaciers. Recently, huge asteroid hit, e.g. in Russia. Minor wobbles of the Earth pole positions are occurring per the website. Nibiru's magnetic strength apparently is already stirring the Earth's environment and appears to be causing some of the climate change global warming effects, questionably blamed on atmospheric CO2, leading up to the shift. Near term, they predict more Japanese mega quakes, a build-up of Midwest USA quakes from Memphis, New Madrid to Buffalo, New York. Then an early tsunami inundating lower portions of the Netherlands, Denmark and UK. Taking steps ahead of time would be critical, as the shift would take place with limited warning. This is likely to happen before 2016 or 2017. Many early indicators are occurring, but mainly a second small blob-like sun will next become visible in daylight by eyesight, but apparently already visible with multiple moons and trailing dust rock clouds. There would, according to the alien predictions, be a lean of the North Pole, leading to 3 days of darkness for the Northern Hemisphere. The internet will begin to malfunction as satellites, oceanic cables fail, as already occurring in the Western Pacific. Within 4 months after the lean, the pole shift would then occur rather suddenly. If this does happen, to survive, food, water and gasoline especially must be accumulated and stored, and camping equipment with gardening and other tools moving far away beforehand, i.e. at least 200 miles and 1,000 feet elevation from low coastal areas would be critical for survival. Why hasn't Nibiru's existence been publicized? Because leaders in major governments know and have suppressed informing, wanting to avoid panic, hoping perhaps that results will be less than predicted. Severity of damage to Earth depends on where Earth is in its solar system orbit relative to Nibiru's passage. Only a select circle of world and USA leaders are informed and preparing. At some point, the various governments will be forced to openly announce its presence. Any first public announcement by USA NASA leaders is likely to minimize projections in order to minimize revolutionary panic. All this may seem preposterous, but my extended research over the last dozen plus years into prehistory, abandoned cities, archaeology, mythology, past geological catastrophes, such as many underwater civilization remnants, provide ample evidence of past pole shifts, psychic messages, Mother Mary apparition messages, UFO alien communications, English crop circle designs. All are providing warnings specifically time-wise to a pole shift about this current period based on a frequency pattern of every 3,600 plus years due to a periodic Nibiru flyby. No direct hit with Earth is anticipated. For a few historical and geological examples, 1. Niagara Falls Gorge was created about 3,600 years ago per geologists. 2 simultaneously large northern Canada lakes were created. 3. At that time also an upward thrust of the Andes happened. 4. Greenland ice core shows volcanic ash layer about 1600 plus BC. 5. Tree rings in Irish oak logs in peat bog show growth stop about 1600 plus BC. 6. California bristlecone pine trees show no growth rings about 1600 BC. 7. Thera Santorini eruption occurred about 1600 plus in Mediterranean. Minoan Creek culture inundated. 8. Shang Dynasty China suffered abrupt end about 1600 plus BC due to severe events. 9. Alien messages from the Caspian star system date the last shift specifically as the year 1588 BC. Plus 2014 equals 3602 years. And 10. Numerous other geological events, e.g. about 11,000 years ago or 3 times 3600 years, there is worldwide geological evidence of horrendous chaos about the time of the disappearance of Atlantis. Also, 4 times 3600 years is one estimate of the time period for inundation of a continent surrounding Easter Island. Now, in the spring of 2014, in spite of potential ridicule, I feel an obligation to alert everyone early about the horrible possibilities to let you decide what, if anything, you will do to prepare. Look for related news, study then act, or deny and ignore as you see best for you and those you love. For verification, the one best source to review is zetatalk.com, the gigantic, tyrannical website, and search the internet using the term Planet X. Note, there have been very highly evolved civilizations on this planet. There have been bodies in space which came too close, which caused chaos and destruction. The civilizations were destroyed because evolvement was in technology and not in spiritual growth. Catastrophes are needed from which souls learn. Book source, Andrian Theory, channel from a benevolent group, and our glaciers. Donald Smalters, the provider of this information's website, is as follows: extraterrestrialcontact.com. If you'd like to take a look at Donald's website, I've posted a link on my website, endtimes23.com. There's a live link to my website near the end of this video. These following extracts originate from extraterrestrialcontact.com, titled Nemesis and Nibiru, the Kuiper Gap and Lagrange Points by Andy Lloyd. Our solar system grew from a gas cloud that circled its own centre counterclockwise, cooled and formed both our sun and a dimmer pair star, a sub-brown dwarf Nemesis. Both the sun and Nemesis developed planets that circle them. Tiamat, the very watery planet that would become Earth, orbited the sun between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. The planet Nibiru revolves around Nemesis, a dark sub-dwarf star, more massive than Jupiter. Nemesis nears our Sun at the Kuiper Belt, 48 astronomical units from Earth every 10,800 Earth years. Nibiru circles Nemesis, but did not orbit our Sun. Instead, every 3,600 years, Nibiru passes through our inner solar system between Jupiter and Mars. One of Nibiru's years, the time Nibiru takes to circle Nemesis, is thus 3,600 Earth years, long enough for 180 generations of Homo sapien Earthlings to live and die. Lloyd Dark Star 1761812252228 Freya in Sapiens Rising says, sinking of Lemuria, connected Polynesian islands, Atlantis, tectonic plate shifts, extreme volcano eruptions, solar flares, etc. were all from flood of 13 13,000 years ago, 11,000 BC. Lloyding dark star cites a sequence of extinction events even earlier that would account for surviving humans like Homo erectus and surviving hominoids such as Bigfoot, Yeti, Agouti, and Alma, modern Neanderthals, according to Paya. The ancient Enuma Elish describes how 4.5 billion years ago our sun created Tiamat, then Mercury. The sun then, says Enuma, sent Mercury with water and gold to Tiamat. Planet pairs formed Venus with Mars, Jupiter with Saturn, Uranus with Neptune. These planets orbited the sun counterclockwise, as did Tiamat. There was no planet between Venus and Jupiter, where the Earth now resides, and Pluto was a moon of Saturn. Tiamat lacked a partner planet, but one of her moons, Kingu, enlarged. Kingu started to partner with Tiamat. Then Kingu could orbit the sun, not Tiamat. But 4 billion years ago, before Kingu could orbit the sun, either Nibiru invaded the sun inner planetary system. Nibiru changed the planet's orbit when it approached Tiamat. Tiamat and Nibiru sprouted moons. Lloyd Dark Star 41122-124. Nibiru stabilized into a clockwise 3,600 year orbit. But in 10,900 BC, Uranus drifted away from the sun and sped Nibiru towards Earth sooner than 3,600 years. As Nibiru flew by Uranus, caught Miranda, a moon of Nibiru, Miranda, now a moon of Uranus, circled it instead of Nibiru. From 10,000 BC on Uranus, slowed Nibiru's orbit to 3,450 Earth years rather than 3,600. Nibiru returned perigee in 7450, 4000 and 556 BC, and next returned to the inner solar system in 2900 AD rather than 2012 as it would on its earlier 3,600 year orbit. Though the debris 180 degrees from Nibiru on Nibiru's orbital path, its far Lagrange point moving in harmonic procession always opposite Nibiru is upon us now. Nibiruans can communicate with and even travel to Earth both before and after Nibiru's perigee. The infrared imaging satellite and the Naval Observatory confirmed Nibiru's existence in 1983 and 1984. NASA attempted to hush up Nibiru's discovery in and published, then denied the IRIS sighting. Freer Sapiens Rising Part 1, Lloyd Dark Star, 75 ZS End 315317. Nibiruans probably put probes at the 290 degrees and at 180 degrees Lagrange points, since the machinery wouldn't need to expend energy to maintain position there. Nibiru's monitoring Earth for millennia, and Nibiruans read us now as we pass Nibiru's 180 degree Lagrange point. Lloyd in Dark Star wrote, Paleontologists recorded 4 distinct extinction episodes during the Permian 10 million year period. An extraterrestrial cause is necessary for the sustained changes affecting Earth during the Permian. An isolated asteroid impact is insufficient. Lloyd goes on, this pattern of extinction and environmental changes is explained by the perturbation of the dark star Nemesis into a temporarily bound orbit. Nemesis migrated close to the planetary zone at the beginning of the Permian and became captured in a new, much tighter orbit that caused the extinctions. Earth's lurch into new orbits overturned oceans, coalesced continents and formed ice caps. At the end of the Permian, Nemesis' temporarily unstable orbit degraded, expelling Nemesis back towards the Edgeworth-Kuiper belt. Earth moved back to an orbit closer to the Sun, warming the world. For tens of millions of years, Nibiru returned to the inner solar system, bringing repeated catastrophic effects to the inner planets. Earth was pummeled by thousands of asteroids, then Nemesis, the dark star, underwent massive orbital expansion, eventually located safely beyond the Oort cloud. To view the full transcript, go to my website, endtimes23.com, where I've posted the link. There's a live link to my website near the end of this video. Okay, my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to endtimes23, which is a totally free subscription service. You're also invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. If you'd like to drop me a line on my blog, by all means do so. Or if you'd like to join one of my circles in Google+, all the links are under this video. All this week's news links can be found on my website, endtimes23.com. There's a live link to my website near the end of this video. Well, that's your lot for this week, my friends. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back with you in a week's time with another edition of Cosmic News. So until then, this is your informer signing off, friends. I'll see you on the flip side. In this end times event most likely will occur before 2016 or 2017, with alarming signs of the build-up to this event being reported daily. Are you and your family prepared for what's to come, or are you still burying your heads in the sand, hoping and praying nothing will happen? Okay, into this Nibiru special report. This first report originates from Donald Smalter, source Andarian Theory, channel from a benevolent group Andar. Glaciers melting at an alarming rate, huge uptick in meteors, fireballs, sharp rise in tornadoes, quakes, volcanic eruptions, sinkholes, landslides, melting permafrost, ocean warming. Is a near-term worldwide cataclysm ahead? Minds are like parachutes. They only function when they are open. A gigantic heretical website of transcribed communications to an American woman over more than 15 years to date from benevolent extraterrestrials claim that Planet X, or historically Nibiru, 4 times larger in diameter than Earth and magnetically more than 20 times stronger, is on a timeline. Is Sunday the 14th of September 2014. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's Nibiru Planet X special report, the facts about the current state of affairs regarding Nibiru, the incoming massive planetary body that will cause a massive extinction event sooner than you may think, with many experts in the field suggest This is Informer News, your voice of the people.